I was directed to a batch of questions for atheists, and, as always, had to check them out.
Make your response videos so that way we can get a clear understanding of the perception of atheists on these different topics.
Well, since you asked, and to be honest, questions like these are my catnip, let's take a look.
Well, let's get into it. How do you feel about the way animals are handled in factories? Do you feel like it's immoral?
Let's back up a bit. The early humans needed meat. The proteins and fats found in meat resulted in a diet that gave our brains the mass they needed to excel in neural development. This advance in brain mass helped us develop into the tool users we were becoming. And, like most things humans have needed, we managed to get very efficient at it, resulting in factory farms and such. I do think it's important to keep things as humane as possible. Yes, we are killing them, but there's no reason to inflict added and unneeded cruelty. Ancient preparations like kosher and halal were some of the best options back in the day. With the tools they had, it was the fastest and least harming way to slaughter animals. But that's been replaced with even more humane options like a simple bolt gun. I find it sad that some places continue to use less humane methods because their religion tells them to.
And I'm not talking about objective morality, because most atheists that I've talked to don't believe in that. But they just believe that society comes together and forms their own morals. So Hitler's society was cool. But not trying to get on you guys, but I have to say certain things so I can make a logical point.
Oh yeah, you're not trying to get at us. You're just claiming that we can't say Hitler was bad. What exactly is the point you're trying to make? I do think Hitler was not cool. He harmed many people by, having them killed, which to me is against my morals, but we'll get to that later. It would be similar to me saying that theists all say they must follow their gods, so 9/11 is cool. Not trying to get at you guys. A point like that is disingenuous at best, if not outright confrontational, and you don't make a logical point. Yes, individuals will have differing morals, and society's morals will reflect that of the population. If morals were objective rather than subjective, they would never change, and it appears to me that we are, in general, becoming a more tolerant society, which I see as a good thing. For example, as of writing this, my video discussing race mixing has a like-to-dislike ratio of 36:1. I realize that's just anecdotal and doesn't really prove anything, but a few decades ago, I'm sure the like-to-dislike ratio would have been a lot smaller, if they had YouTube a few decades ago.
Number 2, how do you feel about eating a chicken sandwich?
If done right, pretty damn tasty. While this is being uploaded, I'll be driving to a town just north of me to pick up a chicken sub from this little Vietnamese place I know of. Kind of a good job, Tim, you got this done, treat yourself tradition that I do. I love that place. They marinate and slow cook that chicken to perfection. Every Monday that I post a video, I show up there, and since my order is always the same, they don't even need to ask. The chef just starts cooking as soon as I walk in. Yeah, but a tasty rut. I don't know what the problem many people have with chicken is. They say it's the blandest of the meats. But an empty canvas can make the best artwork, and a properly seasoned cut of chicken can make a delicious meal.
Might sound crazy. Maybe you didn't catch it. First question. How do you feel about the way they handle those animals in the factories? So if you feel like it's a problem, and then you eat a chicken sandwich, that's just me kind of seeing, okay, are we really as moral as we say we are? Do we really know morality? Because we feel like, oh, it's terrible what they do to those animals. I can't watch it. I can't see it. Oh, it just kills me. But we're not vegan. We should all be vegan if we find problems with that in an atheist perspective.
No, I don't have a problem with that. While I do want the slaughter to be humane, I don't think that animals should have the same rights as people. The value that we give to people is not the same value we give to other animals. This is the result of being social, tool-using creatures. We evolved empathy to work along with other humans to thrive. Those who gave value to other humans were more likely to thrive and were able to pass on that feeling of valuing other humans. That feeling of value was not passed as strongly to animals since they were more disposable, especially the ones we, ate.
Because Christians, we sacrificing lambs, you know what I'm saying? So we really don't have a problem with that as much.
Interesting. As I understand the Jewish and Christian doctrines, the Israelites did indeed make sacrifices to Yahweh, But after the crucifixion of Christ, any more sacrifices would be redundant and not needed. Apparently I was. Christ, according to Christian theology, being the perfect sacrifice and sufficient for everyone, made any more sacrifices obsolete. So, what sacrifices are you talking about? Are you saying that Jesus' sacrifice wasn't enough and you have to add to it? Your response also begs the question, if, hypothetically, it was shown that God didn't exist, then would you stop eating meat?
Is religion wrong? And I don't mean like, are we wrong about religion? Are we immoral? Are we evil? Is religion, not we, I don't believe in religion. Is religion evil? Is belief in God evil?
No, I don't think it's evil in itself to believe, just rather misguided. Religion was a useful tool in the past. It gathered people together, strengthened communities, and gave people a sense of identity. I just think they were based on unproven beliefs. Let's take a hypothetical example. Say you found a group of people who, for whatever reason, thought the Lord of the Rings books were real. All of it. Frodo, Gollum, the whole thing. Not allegory or metaphor, but believed there was something that really happened. These would be mostly decent people who live good lives, do nothing to harm anybody, with the occasional believer who thinks that anyone who doesn't believe is actually an agent of Sauron. Would you say that they were evil or just mistaken, even if in general they were good people? As I said, religion and belief are tools. A hammer in itself is neither good nor bad. It can be used in a positive way when building something, but it can also be used as an instrument of cruelty if you went around hitting people with it. The good or evil applied to a concept depends on how it's used. Religion and belief, even in something that is not real, can be useful in bringing people together. But it can also be used to harm, turning people against the other, or demanding that people follow the dictates of that religion, even if there's no reason to.
Is it even possible to be evil? Does evil even exist? Where does an objective wrong come from? Where does evil come from? Is that really a thing?
Evil is a definition, and a subjective one at that. What one person thinks of as evil, another may think is good. Many people have similar thoughts on what they think is evil, but it's not a physical, tangible thing.
You, as an atheist, have morals. Sometimes your morals can be better than the so-called Christians. Where do you get those morals from? Like I said, this isn't to stump the atheist. I really want to hear some responses on these questions.
I get my morals from a combination of empathy and the harm principle. I don't want to be harmed, so I assume that others don't either. Therefore, I do my best to reduce the harm caused by my actions. If an action causes harm without a corresponding good, then it's wrong and shouldn't be done. Punching somebody is wrong. But if that person is about to harm another and the only way to stop them is with violence myself, then it can be acceptable. Well, that's the first half of the questions done. Stay tuned next time for the rest.